flats. They happen. Let's make them simple. So you're gonna have to get a tube. There is a number on the sidewall of your tire right here. This one says 29 by 2.0. That's super important.
Actually, it says 2.20.
Oh, 2.20. And this stuff goes through it. So it'll say 26 by 2.0 through 2.40. That goes through it. So don't freak out on that part.
So which tire are you getting?
Also, you need to know what valve that you have. This is the one that's called Schrader, like that's on your car. So we are gonna go with that.
That's the wrong one.
Whoa.
Totally the wrong one.
29.
That's a 26.
That happens a lot. Sometimes I put my numbers. So this is the one we're gonna get.
Correct.
Okay, we'll pick that stuff up later. All right, let me show you how it's done.
This big.
Okay, you ready? What do you do? No, you have to do straight. You gotta stand up. You can't do that. You gotta go straight, and you gotta stand up. I'll tell you when to come in closer. What are you doing? Are you videoing? Okay, you ready? Is it red? Are you sure? I'm gonna make sure. Okay, you're good. All right. Okay, so we put the bike in the stand. We're gonna take the wheel off. Come in close real quick, John, and I'll show you how to do it. So there's a lever right here. You're going to pull this down. And then you're gonna thread the nut backwards. And it's gonna drop out. That's why these are called a dropout. All right, now we're gonna change the flat. So they're gonna say, oh, you wanna change it like you're on the side of the road. So this is your tire lever. You see the lip right there? You're going to put it underneath here. And this is kind of a difficult part sometimes. This, you can actually lip it, or you can hold it like that if you want. Then you can take your second one, this is what your second one's for. And you hold it like this, and just go all the way around, like that. All right, now you have to take the actual tube out. This is the tube right here. Sometimes you can actually let the air completely out if you want. You'll pull it out, you take this little cap off, because it's threaded on there. You'll pull that out. The most important thing that even sometimes I forget about, which is kind of dumb, is trying to find the culprit. So you'll dig around in here to see if there's a thorn. You'll look to see, you know, where's that thorn at, blah, blah, blah. And if you find it, kind of dig it out. All right, so we have in our little handy dandy pack a tube, which shows the right tube. Sometimes you can pre-air these up a little bit. Take your cap off. And you're gonna set this, you have to find the hole. So then you'll set this in here. Put that in the hole. Oops, we unloosened it too tight, or too much. You'll never completely take this off. There we go. So you tuck it in. I'm sure there's better or easier ways to do it if people have been doing it a lot. I'm tubeless, so I don't ever have to change a flat. Basically, I just have to make sure that I have sealant or fresh sealant in my tires. And this is the hard part, which in the back shop they'll use usually a trash can to put it on. You're snapping this bead back completely on here. And you'll use this too to try to start it at one point to hold it in there. If there's an easier way, John, you can chime in, because I don't ever change flats because I don't have. And you obviously try not to touch like the disc brake like I just did with my leg, because there's probably like oils on it or something, and you don't want to impede your braking. So. And you also have to make sure it doesn't pop out on the other side, which it is doing. We're going to definitely cut this video down and make me look like a professional.
Show you a trick on it. This is where most people screw up. Because if you'll start opposite of the valve stem.
Ooh.
Did you get that tire down in the center of the wheel?
Like I said, I don't change flats. I don't ever have flats because we're too loose. All right. Then we have our handy dandy CO2. This you thread on here. Oh, that's the air part. See that? Thread it on. A long, long time ago I used one of these. It's been a minute. You're gonna break the seal. Or usually they used to go psh.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore? All right, this is just gonna be an on-off. So you're just gonna hold it here. It's gonna get cold. I always try to push that down so it won't. Ooh, it doesn't come out like that. Excuse me. Ooh, it got cold. Oh my gosh, it got really, really, really cold. There you go. That's how you do it, guys. Ooh.
The thing to think about too
Yeah.
is when you wake up the next day, your tire's going to be flat again.
Yep.
Because that's nitrogen and it's going to leak out. So it's not air.
CO2.
CO2. I'm sorry.
CO2.
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, and so then we put it back in there, obviously. This way. Gotta match your disc with your disc. Or like your disc with your little... And I always, that way I'll have a balancing point. You can tell I don't ever really put wheels on that much because usually Justin's doing that for me. You match the dropouts out. Come on. You hold this and this, you have a balancing point. Thread it forward. And this is tautness. Right here, this is you just want to make a certain amount of tightness. So you're checking that. You're pushing forward. Then you lift up, you hold right here and here. Spin it up. See, that's not right because you can hear it rubbing right there. So what that means is you have to completely redo it again and align that in the center. So you'll just redo it again until you don't hear that. And that bike sometimes wiggles too. It's still wet, it's still rubbing.
Motor might be warped.
It might be warped. There we go. It might be warped. Or basically, yeah, it could be warped. I don't know, every now and then they're not true.
What happens a lot of times is
Yeah.
when people are trying to change a tire real fast, they'll bang the rotor into the caliper and then they bend the rotor.
That's probably what I did. That might have been what had happened. Anyways, if you also squeeze that brake, sometimes won't it just like stretch out the line? Or like it loosens it.
Center spits. Ta-da.